Reading timetable are bad? Not really. I like to say that reading timetable, if not ideally prepared for yourself, will not be effective for you. Because just because you and your classmates are preparing for the same courses with the same exam deadlines does not mean that you need the same timetables. The reading timetable is peculiar for each individual because each of you have different strengths and weaknesses. So you must prepare your timetable to enhance your weaknesses and to build on your strength. In this video, we are going to discuss how to make an ideal reading timetable, and we're also going to share a technique that can help you maintain concentration all through the process of reading. So before we get started, this video was referenced from a project work I discovered online on ideal reading timetable by a set of students in Indian Institute of Technology. The links are in the description below. Hi everyone, my name is Fad. If you are new to this channel, welcome, and I hope you find this video helpful. Now, to make a timetable, we're going to need a timetable format. For this, I highly recommend that you draw it out in your jotters or in a piece of paper that you can easily gain access to, or that you can paste on the wall so you can see it every day. Another way you can go about this is to download the timetable format online, then you print it out in an A4 paper that you can paste somewhere or keep somewhere depending on what you want to do with it. Now that we have a timetable format, we need to shade off the non-compromisable activities. Non-compromisable activities are those activities of our daily living that are very compulsory, that are very necessary. You can't cancel them. They involve things like classes for students like myself, your job, maybe time for dinner, lunch, your fun time as well, because you're a human being and you might need time to relax, just have fun. You should also include that in your timetable. Now, next is to prepare a course information table. Now, what is this table about? Now, when you're preparing a timetable, you don't just go ahead and start filling up the table with courses irregularly. You need to understand your knowledge regarding each of the courses presently and what you need to add to that current knowledge to be fully prepared for an exam if there is a deadline. All this information will be entered in the course information table. Now, the table looks like this. It has a column for courses, credit score, weight, confidence, text, or exam deadline. The courses are where you list out your courses that you're preparing for or that you want to fit into your timetable. Then your credit score, the credit score for each courses, they're only indicating like how much credit score have been allocated to each courses, because if it's high, then they are regarded as more important. They add more to your cumulative grade point. Then weight simply involves how bulky the materials for the courses. Confidence level is how confident you are regarding each course. Then lastly, we have the test and exam deadline, which are simply where you indicate the date if there is a deadline for each course that you're preparing for. Now, how do you go about filling up this table? You simply have to rate each courses based off of the features of this table. In this video, I'm going to prepare an ideal reading timetable for myself that you can learn along with. To rate each courses on the course information table, you can use a rating scale like this. You can rate in so many ways. You can use numbers on a scale of 1 to 10, or you can use colors, or you can simply say bad, fair, okay, or excellent, depending on what you like. For me, I love using colors, so for a bad rating, I'll rate it as red. For a fair rating, rate it as orange. Okay, say yellow. For an excellent rating, give it a green. And now to fill up this table, the first subject I'm using in this scenario is chemistry, and in this scenario, chemistry will be rated as red under the credit score. It means the course is very large in terms of credit score, and there's a lot to lose if you fail the course, so you must pay attention to it. Rating the weight also as red, it signifies that there is a lot of materials in this course, and this is not surprising because most courses with a high credit score are always very bulky, and so there are a lot of materials to cover up, fully prepare for the course. Next is to rate the confidence, and we're going to rate it as a yellow. This is just based on my perspective. I feel confident for chemistry exam because I feel like if I'm able to read completely, and based on what I know now and how I feel about the course now, I'm quite confident that I'll be very okay. I have full understanding. I have no problem with any particular topic within the course. Then a deadline, we're going to place 2-week exam deadline for chemistry, which means you only have 2 weeks to prepare fully for this course. Next is physics. We're going to rate the credit score as a yellow for physics. This simply means that physics does not have a high credit score, although it does not mean you should take it less seriously. It only means that it contributes less to your cumulative GPA. And the weight to be rated as green, this also means that there are not much materials to cover in this course. Confidence level will also be rated as green. So this signifies that I'm very confident in the course. Next is microbiology. We'll be rating the credit score for microbiology as orange. If you remember our rating scale, we realize that orange is very close to red. It means that microbiology has a fairly high credit score, and so you must pay attention to it. Next is the weight. The weight of microbiology will be rated as yellow, which means that it's not so much when you compare it to chemistry. The materials are not so much. Then for the confidence level for microbiology, we are going to rate it as a red. Again, it's just based on my own perspective. It can be different for some people. I'm not confident in the course, and so if I don't prepare very well, If I don't give it enough time, I won't be ready for an exam. So for the text and exam deadline, we're going to put a 1 week deadline for microbiology. So it means I have 1 week to prepare for a microbiology exam that I'm not confident for. Now, according to this course information table, which course do you think deserves more time and which course do you think deserves the least amount of time? If you not already liked the video, please put the like button and also consider subscribing. Now, for me, I rated microbiology as the course requiring the most time and physics as the course requiring the least time. Now, this can be different for you, so there's no right or wrong answer. You just based off your perspective. Microbiology is giving the most time in this case because I'm not confident about it, and it's also fairly highly rated in terms of credit score, and then there's still a good amount of materials to cover. And if I'm not confident about them, it means I'm going to need time to read them properly. The next is chemistry. I've rated chemistry second because, well, I'm confident about the course, and even though it's bulky and has a high credit score, I'm confident. That's a very important thing. If you're confident about it, it means you'll be given just the right amount of time, you'll be ready for the exam. And so we are rating it as second in terms of how much time will be allocated to it. Then lastly, the course with the least amount of time will be physics, given that I'm very confident in it. It's a very light course and that's considerably lower credit score. Now that we have the course information table filled up, let's go back to our timetable. And when you're filling the courses in your timetable, this is totally subjective. It depends on your schedule, it depends on how your timetable looks like. You fill them based on what you feel fits your schedule. Another thing to note when you're filling up your timetable is to ensure that those courses that have deadlines, have an exam or test deadline, you have to ensure that you're filling up those courses up to the day of the exam. For example, I'm having microbiology in just 1 week from now, means that I must start filling up microbiology maybe anytime from now. If I intend to start right away, or if I intend to start tomorrow, that will be from tomorrow up till the deadline. Now, if you look at my timetable, you realize for the first week there was a lot of microbiology in the timetable, very little physics. So we also distributed chemistry quite fairly, but more emphasis was on the microbiology. This is only the first week, given that microbiology has a 1 week deadline prioritized above all other courses. Now for the second week, things are quite different because microbiology is now off the table. We've done the exam, and so we have more time to fit in chemistry and also to fit in our physics. Now physics don't have a deadline in our table, and so you cannot fill up anywhere in the timetable since there's no exam for it. Now I mentioned in the beginning that there will be a technique to help you maintain concentration while you read. Now the technique is called the Pomodoro technique, and this is simply a form of reading in which you read for 25 minutes and then you take a 5-minute break, and then you go for another 25 minutes and you take a 5-minute break. Oh, now hold on, I do not really recommend this technique to be used in that manner, because most of the time when you are reading towards the 25th minute is when you are really becoming engrossed, you really begin to discover things. You don't want to stop yourself at that point. So I recommend that you read for 1 hour and 40 minutes and then take a 20 minutes break. It's still following the same Pomodoro principle, except you have more time allocated to reading before you now take a break. If you are finding it difficult to concentrate for 1 hour and 40 minutes, you can break that down to 50 minutes and take a 10 minutes break. The idea behind the Pomodoro technique is to enable you to have maximum concentration throughout the period of time you read. So, alright, now that you know how to make an ideal reading timetable, next thing that is important to you should be how to maximize the time you allocate for each course. Because if you don't maximize the time you allocate for each course, you won't be able to meet up with your time. So if you want to prevent that, you need to have a good reading technique, on which the video on screen right now is all about. So watch the video to learn techniques that are working and also to know the ones that are not so effective.